just love the sound of a spruce rosewood jumbo gill 12 string. I sure like this guitar. This video is about putting a 0 fret on your guitar. Why would you do that? Well, let me first tell you what a 0 fret is. You've all experienced a 0 fret. Whenever you put a capo on your guitar neck, you're replacing the nut up here at the fingerboard end with the fret right next to the capo, and many of you have probably noticed that the guitar is a lot easier to play. It's because with the fret as the nut, you have the action in the open position over here as low as it can possibly be on your guitar. It makes the guitar easier to play. The second reason to put a 0 fret on a guitar is because it gives you uniform tone and sustain, whether you're playing the string fretted or whether you're playing the string open. All the strings are passing over a fret at that point, and you get nice uniform tone and sustain. Now, other manufacturers use 0 frets. Gretsch is one, so is Steinberger. So these are nothing new. Well, should you consider a 0 fret? Well, I think it would be a good idea to consider a 0 fret, especially if your nut needs replacement, because that's a great time to modify the existing nut, saving it, and turning it into a 0 fret by installing a fret here. So this video is going to show you what's involved in putting a modification on an existing nut to turn it into a 0 fret nut, and you get an idea of whether you might want to do that to your own instrument when it's time to have a nut replaced, or maybe you just like the idea of improving playability. So to improve the playability of this 12 string, optimize it, make it as good as it can be in the open positions, I'm going to convert the existing nut, which has already got the slots in it, into a 0 fret nut. The way I'm going to do that is to undercut the nut, and then I am going to install a fret where the edge of the nut had been previously. So I'm just going to take a Japanese pull saw. Okay, here you can see how the pull saw is cutting into the fret, and it's starting to create a horizontal slot. It's real important as the cut's being made that the saw be held to the fingerboard so that it follows the contour of the fingerboard. So, okay, now I'm taking my fret saw, which is going to cut the slot for the 0 fret, and I'm going to very carefully cut off the undercut notched edge of the nut. That small sliver of nut has been cut off. You can see I followed the radius of the fretboard. This is flush here. So I'll use a capo as a guide to make sure I cut the fret slot for the 0 fret precisely at the edge. The fret slot has been cut precisely at the joint between the nut and the fingerboard. Using my digital caliper set up to measure fret depth, I have taken a measurement of the relative height of each fret crown on the fretboard, and this tells me that 0 fret installed and ready to be strung up.